There's a lot to talk about. And in fact, one of the most important things is that none of us could actually imagine that a minuscule, submicroscopic RNA particle, which is non-living by the way, could actually bring a whole mankind to its knees. I mean, imagine that we've prided ourselves practically on our achievements, on our scientific acclaims. We've transformed and started believing ourselves as God over the last 60, 70 years as science and medical science progressed. And we started curing people and actually believe we were giving life. And then this microscopic particle comes. And it's marched through, ravaging lives, disrupting economies, and practically brought humanity to its knees and standstill. What has this done to us? Firstly, it's given us time to introspect. So in all that silence of the lockdowns, etc., as we fight numerous lives and try to save numerous lives across the world without finding a solution, by the way, it gives us, firstly, for once, time to sit back and start thinking about how much we've lost in our lives, how much we've lost on relationships, how much we've actually lost out on many of the things we wanted to do. And it actually, most importantly, brought humility in. And you just heard Swamiji actually brought spirituality. And for once, we started realizing that while 20th century was the time of living on this earth with science and believing in science, 21st century has got to be combining science with spirituality if we got to live in this world. Now, coming more specifically to what it has done to us, that perhaps as we come out of this COVID, and that's the main part of the discussion, that we could come out, with all what is seen in the West with lakhs of people dying and doctors actually having to ration PPEs for themselves while trying to save lives, and then rationing the ventilators for the patients to see who's the sicker one or who's the younger one, and let the older one die so that we can give the ventilator, which are over, the healthcare infrastructure being overwhelmed, which patient to give. Truly, the ethics have been challenged. We're actually now living in a different fear and a different world. And we're now new human beings. So we hopefully will come out of this as more considerate, more compassionate, more caring, more perhaps ethical human beings, and mankind will view environment in a much different manner. By touching the patients, by taking care of them, not just in terms of comforting them, our touch actually means reassurance to them. Our face looks at them and is soft, and they believe in us, because that's what Hippocratic Oath made us do. We also now start believing that we would actually be distancing ourselves from the patient, sitting at least 6 feet across. We're doing virtual clinics. There is no touch, there is no feel. Our examination skills, which we prided on for 60 years to diagnose an illness, is going to be a distant diagnosis. In a way, we will give up a lot to revolutionize ourselves to a different form of physicians in times to come, whereby we be actually in trying to be in touch with the patient and hugging him. I hope we don't transfer ourselves to believing that he may get illness from us and I will get an illness from him. Look at the transformation. I mean, 9/11 created a whole lot of transformation for the world in multiple ways, polarizations and travel and many other issues. This is going to actually, in multi-spheric alterations that it will bring. We'll be discussing patients and monitoring patients at home. Great thing, it prevents them from getting infected and coming to the hospital. But how much more distancing are we going to create in times to come? And therefore, when I see all this, while there may be opportunities into this, actually many things should have been done before. We should have been doing more telemedicine. We should have actually educating our people a lot more. But I do believe that distancing ourselves from our patients is going to be a very different way to deal with healthcare, very different way for the doctors. And I hope that this just heals itself out in times to come so that we don't have to change the ethos of medical profession.